Analyze Bitcoin's price. And today, the order book is as we show on the thumbnail.
Spectacular. Very, very spectacular how empty the order book is today.
We're going to look at it in detail, but first, let's start with
what happened since yesterday's analysis on this candle here, where we made the video yesterday. You have all the videos on the Trans Money channel, and we're
saying 68. Be careful with 68. We've had that small correction, and now, yesterday we had this support. Look, we've been like 18 hours, no, almost 20 hours, since the prediction of this support. Those 20 hours have passed, it broke it but tried to recover it again. And look at this craziness. They put 1,200 Bitcoins here, and then 500 Bitcoins down here to hold the price. And we continue with the manipulation. But today, yesterday's video was
attention.
Extreme. Look how they've lowered the price here. This is where they put in the long short, the big short to bring the price down. Look how spectac. Look how spectac. What manipulation. No, like in all markets, the strong ones decide the price. So, they buy the price. So, today what I find fascinating. Look, there are only 2 of 200 Bitcoins. There are only 2 of 200 Bitcoins, and the rest is empty. For those who are new, thank you very much for all the likes. To the new subscribers, what we're talking about here is the order book. The top 10 orders, what prices they have, what prices Binance billionaires are betting on. Out of the 50,000 prices in the order book on Binance right now, this is the top 10, okay? Of shorts and longs in Bitcoin and USDT. So, today's volume is good, 14 billion, not bad. It's an average volume for Bitcoin over the last 24 hours. But the order book is completely out of the ordinary. So, let's mark where the supports, resistances, interpretation, and what strategy to follow are. Because look how spectacular it is today. Let's clean up, we're taking out the world shifts. Alright, let's go. And also, look how close the prices are. If we go to Hitmap, here we have the lines of the top 10 of the order book, where they are marked. There's much more bullish pressure than bearish. Where there's no order book, it's empty. There's no money, and now we're going to talk about that. Because I believe there's no money. The strongest bets are at 58, and at 51, and at 114, and at 115. So, what is my interpretation of this? Basically that there's no one wants to trade right now. In fact, futures now. The funding rate is bullish. But well, basically neutral. Because it's 0.002%. Practically neutral. There's no interest in trading crypto right now. And more than that, we're going to talk about this situation. We've marked these two zones, 58 and 51, which hasn't been set. It has marked 200 for us at this drop of 12 to 22% or a rise of 70%. That's where the money is now. The rest has money, but it's quite weak. If we look at yesterday, we saw that $700 million moved the market by 10% or 11%. Today, $700 million moves the market by more than double, more than 24%. So, yesterday, spending $700 million, they could lower the price by 11%. Today they can lower it by 24% and raise it by 20% with $700 million. $700 million or $0.7 billion is what they spend in the last 24 hours. In a 24-hour range. The market makers. So for me, today what this means is one of two things. Either there's no interest in the market to invest, or that they're going to make a big move. Why? Because now moving the price to 58 is much cheaper than it was. It's cheaper to move it 12% than yesterday. Much cheaper, a lot cheaper. About $200 million cheaper. So, does that mean they're going to dump it to 58 already? Not necessarily, but today it's cheaper. Today it's cheaper to move the price. So for me there are two options. One, that the price remains stable. One, that they decide to maintain the price at this 66, which is more or less the middle of the range, or this small support where, notice, we could easily draw this symmetrical triangle because they did a fake out here that left us all stunned by the violence of this move, basically to liquidate both shorts and longs. And apparently, the interest is no longer here at 65 in the last few hours, nor at 62, nor at 60, but at 58. So what they're telling us is that there are no strong buyers in this zone. The interest is in this area here, otherwise there are no pressures. We're also entering the weekend, and conversely, on the upside, nobody is shorting until 1:15, and that seems super spectacular to me. That's what we have today in the order book, entering the weekend, right? So now the thing is, that's the order book, and obviously, for me, what it's telling me is that we still can't rule out the low 60s. They still can't be ruled out. And we already saw exactly why. But well, it's basically this zone here that I think will hold for the first hit we get if we go to 60. Okay, that would be for the lower side. Therefore, for me, today the entries are at 58 and 51. 58 and 51, those are the entries. And there are no short entries. Or 114 and 115. There are no entries today in the market. For me, not in scalping either. I don't trust it. I see it as too cheap to move the market. Today, too cheap. So there. Everyone has their own opinion. I'm still in a short position. I'm at a loss of 10%. And we'll see what happens. In fact, I had set a stop loss here, take profit. And I'm going to remove this take profit now from 64 that I had more or less. And the long entry, I'm moving it to 58 and to 51. which most likely won't happen, that the market won't move. But it would be a gift if they move it there for me, because I would have those entries. I mean, it wouldn't be a gift, sorry. It's how I would take advantage of that situation. To enter during the panic down here. Okay, the other situation is the upper side. In case we go looking for this CMY gap, for me it would be 81 to 82. And 74, that would be the next one. Those are the two zones where I would look for shorts, 74 and 81 short, or partial profit taking, or adjusting the portfolio, whatever. Even if it can go to 115 and all that. But for me, I think it's worth adjusting capital to have a bit more fiat, in case we still have another correction during strong rallies. Alright, we're going to leave it here today. You know you have all the links below in the video description. The BingX and MEXC ones are what I recommend, these two here. To enter DeltaStrike, you know that if you trade on MEXC you can enter directly. And now we're also preparing so you can enter with, I'll say it, with BingX, okay? If you're premium, or if you're trading on MEXC or BingX, I think next week we'll put it here and you'll be able to enter directly. On BingX, I mean, with MEXC you can already enter, but we'll add BingX next week. Well, because $250, I don't understand. I mean, you have to do some volume. We'll explain the exact volume number, but we're going to set up several levels, like we had before on the traditional Transcend Money page, which will be the Pro level, the Premium level, and the DeltaStrike. So depending on each one, the trading level you can enter one level or another. So it can be done with MEXC or with BingX. With BingX it will probably be easier to enter because it will require less trading volume. And if not, we'll also provide other options that can be paid with crypto or fiat. Because one of the things we're planning is to add order books from other exchanges to see if they are planning it. If they are planning it, I mean, we'll see it in the next few hours. Why not? I'd like to revisit this. Why is there no money in the order book today? It's a Friday. Yes, we're approaching the weekend, but it's not normal for there to be so little money in the order book. Notice that even the top 10 here has 100 Bitcoins. I mean, the order book is empty. It's completely dry. And many times we discuss, oh well, they're fake. I don't know what. But look how today they don't want to put money in. Today they've pulled money from the order book. There are no orders on Binance futures. There are very few orders. In fact, I also want to put up a chart that shows us the liquidity in the order book each day. Because we see it could be due to fear of Iran, but if there was fear of Iran, then at $51,000 there would be 700 Bitcoin or 1,000 Bitcoin. Because today there isn't. There are only 200, no more than 200. The book is completely dry. So, it seems to me, where's the money? That's the question. Where is the money? From Binance traders? Or from Binance? Because my suspicions are that basically Binance decides the price of Bitcoin, or Binance with some institutions. So, why have they pulled the money today? Why have they pulled the money? If we're talking about 20%, why isn't there money at $51,000? It seems quite strange to me. Yes, you might be scared because of Iran, but it seems very suspicious, very suspicious. And then the liquidations are clustered. So basically, the way I see it is that Binance has seen that longs and shorts aren't entering longs and shorts, and has pulled the money. As long as there's no money to be made in the market, why would they spend money? They don't need to manipulate the price. I mean, since the last big placement of significant money they made, it was, look how crazy it is. Basically here they said, the price flat here, that's it. I think they did something like, today we're keeping the price flat, and no one touches the price. But look here, they put 1,000 Bitcoin above and below the price to keep it flat here at 66 for hours. In fact, if we go to 15 minutes, it's probably even more exaggerated, right? So these are to understand how Binance makes money. I think that's the key. Look, it's impressive that it goes up a little. No, we have to bring it down. If it drops too much, we have to bring it up. So now, suddenly, probably because there are no traders. They say we already have the price controlled, or I don't know what they're doing. But something very wild is happening. Very wild. It's Friday, yes, but there are many Fridays when we have extreme liquidity. That the price doesn't move. These are different things. That the price doesn't move doesn't mean there's no liquidity in the order book. Even if the price doesn't move, it doesn't mean there aren't many trades. Because in fact the trading volume isn't bad. $13 billion in the last 24 hours isn't bad. I don't know why it is. But there's no money on Binance today. There's no money on Binance today. In the order book, what we're talking about, it's empty. Since incredibly empty. And the other thing I wanted to look at is how much there is in the spot book. 1.4, so the volume. The trading volume today has been normal, average, but they've emptied the order book. The question is, where have they put all this money? We're probably talking about around, here we're missing about $300 million, 600. Like $500 million has disappeared today from the order book. 600 and 600, let's say, on each side, have disappeared at least. No, but it's not just Friday. Every Friday is different. No. We have to do this. We have to do this. Well, this is the evolution of DeltaStrike. It's just the beginning. It's just the beginning. But here we're going to uncover all the secrets. Here we're going to understand how Binance or Binance billionaires operate. Because today this is exaggerated. Today this is exaggerated. Well, we're going to leave it here, but next week we have a call. Those of you who are in DeltaStrike, we have a call next week for, you know what it's for. Alright, I wish you all the best of luck with your positions, health, love, and fortune, and we'll see you in the next video.